Good evening, and we're coming on the air at this hour with breaking news after the U.S. warned all day of a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, that it was imminent. Vladimir Putin has just addressed the Russian people moments ago, announcing what Putin called the start of a military special operation, in his words, to demilitarize Ukraine.
In the morning of the 24th of February, I was just sleeping in my bed, and then I heard some noise, like really strong noise, and I thought, oh, maybe that's a thunderstorm. But it's the end of February, and usually in Ukraine we don't have thunderstorms in the end of winter. And then I heard somebody calling my husband and saying, "Wake up, the war has broken out."
Ukraine has nearly 3 million disabled people who are trapped by the violence.
The time of war is really very hard for people with disabilities. And if we speak about people who are in the wheelchairs, who have physical disability, if they live on high floors in the blocks of apartments, when there is shelling or bombing, they just cannot go downstairs. When people think about their own safety and the safety of their children, they are not really ready to help somebody else, the neighbors who may need some help.
Since the war broke out, Oksana began to withdraw into herself. She had constant headaches and had difficulties with breathing. She was so nervously strained. We lived our lives peacefully, and then suddenly we had to run for our lives and hide. My Vladик has a disability because he was born with a brain cyst and brain malformation. It was very stressful. My Vladik was shocked and very worried. He shuddered at every explosion and rumbling sound. He was so scared. The first 10 days of war, we slept in the basement with another family. We were all very scared, but we didn't know where to go. Then Galina called me.
In the pre-dawn hours today, as bombs fell on Ukraine, a group of volunteers made a daring escape, driving through the bombardment with dozens of disabled Ukrainians, rushing them to safety in Poland.
This bus crossed the border today with 60 people with disabilities.
We have a few people that are in the Ukraine, and they gather families living with disabilities, and they're able to get them out of the city.
I realized that even if I had an opportunity to hide somewhere in the basement, with my injury, I wouldn't have lasted long there.
We were exhausted by constant air raid alerts, by constant running to the basement or the bomb shelter, all those sleepless nights.
Galina called me and said, "We have a bus with 20 people in wheelchairs. Buses are coming from Ukraine with people with disability, younger, elderly, the caregivers."
And some people say, "Oh, why are you taking, people with disabilities so far?" But actually, it's not about just getting them as far as possible. It's about finding the proper place for them to stay. At least the place where the person using the wheelchair could, use the toilet, could wash face or, clean teeth, just go into the sink directly and not need to be transferred, from the wheelchair to some other place.
And within a week, with the help of hundreds of volunteers, churches, they made it accessible for those who came with the buses from Ukraine. There was, there was food, there was clothing, there was everything. It was like a huge warehouse of people bringing in stuff, also for the children to play. And so we have 4 centers now in the Netherlands where we accommodate those brothers and sisters from Ukraine.
I see God every moment through people who care for us here. We don't know these people, but they serve and care for us. We have a place to stay in, food to eat, clothes to wear. We rejoice that God is above all lands and nations.
Tell me, are you organizing more evacuations of people with disabilities?
as I said, until you do everything that God has planned for you to do, you are immortal.